I started doing bushwhacking type hikes, and I noticed that the gaiters that I bought were slipping, and the elastic strap up here in the top just wasn't holding them up to that ledge above my calf. So that was causing the gaiter to slip, and then the lace clip was becoming disengaged, and so this is just flopping around down here. So what I did was modify this by using a 1-inch Velcro strap. I just sort of had the idea that Velcro would be better than elastic. So I didn't want any more elastic, which would tend to over tighten and then cause some discomfort and loss of circulation. So this particular manufacturer of gaiter has a little loop up here, and I use this little piece of material here to sort of keep this in line with where I wanted it to be height-wise. But it really doesn't matter if you don't have this. You could stitch one in, I suppose, but generally speaking, it's going to stay below this area up here where the cord goes through the top of the gaiter. I don't really think it's going to creep up too much, especially when you think about just this material. It's going to hold it in place. You wanted to add something great. Couple of tips though, if you do this, get a long piece of Velcro. Make sure you measure around your leg, and if you were without a measuring tape, just buy a bunch of the Velcro. This is 1 inch, and I got 5 feet, and actually I cut it in half. So around the area where I knew I was going to be using the strap, it ended up being 2.5 feet. The critical part of this is to make sure that this strap of Velcro goes all the way around your leg. The reason is that if you're going through brush, that the strap can become disengaged and torn away by sticks and twigs and rocks and stuff. So you want to make sure that you have full engagement of this Velcro strap. Don't go for any less. I don't have it on too tight because, again, the ledge that is formed by the muscles on your calf, they're going to keep this up. And the 1-inch width is critical. So it goes all the way around. Another couple of tips are use a tab of a different color. This one is red, and I just sandwiched some Velcro on here and used crazy glue and a clamp to make sure that I had a pull tab here, because I wanted to be able to grab it with gloves on and being able to take this on and off if I need to adjust it if anything happens. So far that hasn't been an issue, but before, when I was doing my prototype, having this tab on I thought initially was a great idea, and it did work to help just take it off and manipulate it. The one thing that when you're doing this is also keep the fuzzy part of the Velcro to the inside, to the gaiter side, so that it doesn't get clogged up with mud and sticks and twigs. It's easier to clean. I guess this would be considered the hook part of the Velcro. So this is the shinier, harder part, and it's really easy to clean this. So when I'm wrapping this around, to give you some idea here, what I'm going to do is all of the fuzzy part's going to be inside. And also too, when this tab is, if you can do this, try to keep the tab behind your leg. So I just will shift this around, or to the inside. So that way, when you're walking, I'm going through stuff that's, chest high sometimes, and all of that first layer, that under stuff, which is 2 or 3 feet and below, it can grab this tab and pull it off. But because of the coverage here, it's not going to come off too far. So, but I just kind of avoid that by just sort of having the tab on the inside of my leg or behind my calf. And that way, when you're brushing up against stuff, it doesn't catch against this tab too much. That's pretty much it.